Hello and welcome back, everyone. So, about 3 weeks ago, I started this world. It's my empty world where I was building my fleet in vanilla creative. And I started off the entire thing with building the SF01. And by the time I got the interior finished, I realized I had no idea how to move forward with actually getting the outside of the ship done. First, I would like to go ahead and state it's a great idea to actually start with your outer hull and fill it with the interior as you go. It's a lot easier to get your shapes together and everything. But in the meantime, I did get someone to help me with it. It was Kev Me Up, uh, modder and YouTuber who will be on the content engineers server with me and others. Helped me to complete the build on the Lippstreu. So overall, I would say she's about 90% complete. Uh, the hull itself is done. All of the jagged edges and boxy bits that are there on purpose. The interior is untouched. It's still what I built. But this is the shell that we built around it. And this is my simple hitching system for the other cars that I'll be pulling behind it. One of the main things I wanted to do, though, is come back in here and get more gyroscopes put in. So this is interesting how I did this. With this round window here, this is a single door airlock that won't depressurize, which allowed me to just go ahead and build these little wings off the front here as an interesting entrance and exit straight into and out of the bridge. See, it's pressurized in here, not pressurized out here. He changed the bridge up some. There's now windows that look down and up. So, in the front of the bridge, I can run all the way back here. Like I said, the interior hasn't changed from what I built, except some of the colors here and there because he had recolored the ship so that he could see well what he was building. And I've been working on recoloring it back. But I have come down here, oh, that's the up. I have come down here and dropped in a lot of gyros, a lot of gyros. And there's still parts in here that I need to paint in the actual server where we have the paint gun and I can reach it. But yeah, this is so many gyros. And I can fit more gyros in over here as well. But I want to connect these in, so conveyor, let's get the full blocks and these. Go back to the white plastic. So at least I still remember mostly what I'm doing here on the palette itself. But yeah, I've been still working on it the whole time is why. Some of these conveyors are still painted and need to be painted back. But there we go, those are all tied together, and I can start on gyroscopes. Lots and tons of gyroscopes. These need to be clean purple. And I also have some side rooms that, if this winds up not being enough gyroscopes, I will add more into there. But I'm hoping this winds up being enough. I want to leave room to walk around there. It was unable to place that because I was in the way. That one it placed completely incorrectly. I want the panel facing forward. So anytime it pops sideways, make sure it's still going the way you want it. Which is going to keep messing up like that when I'm not off to the side. There we go. There's more gyroscopes on the lower deck. Let's go ahead and get back up here. And I know for a fact I'm going to have to double or triple the power in here just for the ion thrusters. The ion thrusters alone are so powerful in this. Of course, right now it's just running off of batteries. Yep, it turns pretty good. Pretty good. I do, of course, also have, for booster power, hydrogen thrusters on here with a nice array. And we can switch back over here to reactors on. What did I lose here? Oh, that's because I don't have that hooked on here. Acceleration, if you're watching, the acceleration is really good with the boosters on, especially for something this size. Oh yeah, she handles really good. You will notice there are a lot of guns on here. All but one of those are just Gatling guns for basic defense. As the reactors are on, I have plenty of power to push this. Not on recharge though, I need batteries and reactors. Really like how good that is. Let's go ahead and shut off the brakes. This is how I'll be flying most of the time while pulling things. Which brings me to the next step. Turn on all of this. I'm going to save the game before getting into these attempts because it can get a bit rickety sometimes. I have a couple of the cars that I've made and one car that was made by another person from the Content Engineers server, Prestige Reaper. I think I'll probably hold on to that one though and not show it yet. Being that that's the weapon car. I don't really want people to know what's there on the server just yet. What few need to know already know, but I can just do car. Let's go ahead and get my HTC, which is what it had labeled there. Okay. I'm not sure if this is the correct one saved because it still has that antenna up on the top there. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should be the right one saved. And it still has that under there. The antennas I was doing because these were being built on server. So I found out while I was building the thruster, the hydrogen thruster car here, this would make a really good tug. So that's its secondary purpose, is to connect to cars and push them into connection with the main ship itself. So there's that one. The medium cargo car here, which is going to be my standard cargo car. This was really easy for me to just spin right into place here because of my color coding. Red is the starboard side, and that's offload. So let's just drop this in already in position. Not a terrible idea, I feel. And I don't know why I don't have my 4 connector on here. I don't even know what that was, so actually let's put it right there in that position. 4 connector switch lock, and aft connector switch lock. These are so I can run full connections all the way through the ship. So go ahead and 6 to lock that up. There we go. And let's see, there's one more car I'll go ahead and show. I'll put this one behind. And that would be the passenger car. This is still in need of being given the overall same paint job as everything else, and it needs its hitch added to it. I thought I had updated the blueprint, but obviously I did not. So I guess you get to see how I'm doing the hitch. It's very simple. Just connector and merge block. I would say the harder part is actually the naming, and that's also the more important part. Go ahead and throw that in there. 7 for the merge block, spin that around. Go into here, this is PC4, and look up the merge. PC4. So that way I know they're both forward. Spin back around here to the back and just go ahead and get these in too while I'm at it. And you'll notice I'm keeping the same line on everything. That's the only way you're ever going to be able to get things like this connected, is to make sure you're doing everything in the same line. So this connector is PC aft, and I need to search for the merge, and I will set that as PC aft. Now also on all of the connectors here, I want these set to not used for parking. I don't think I've actually got that set on everything else, because a lot of these things I was just kind of firing out builds. You'll notice they're all, whoa, the same general shape. That's because I built the medium cargo container after I realized that the small cargo container is actually really narrow. Oh, come on. Where was my aft block? 7? Oh, why is the merge block not connecting? Okay, weirdness. 5 is turning off the aft lock. Don't know, but let's see if I can get the tug in these 3 cars over. And connect to the Lippstreu itself. And then as much better as the Lippstreu is able to handle on its own, I do wonder how it will work. With these 3 cars. Okay, so that completely disconnected the car in the back, and it knocked me out of being able to control it from the tug, because now it's technically part of the Lippstreu itself. And I have a loose car. So if I search for cam, I can get merge cam aft. That's actually on the thruster car. I can see I need to pull forward for one, and let's try to line this up and get her connected. Whoa, gotta be careful there. How is that drifting? And as you can see, there are considerations I took on the thruster car that I actually didn't take with any of the others. I kind of need to solve that. I also need, just for the moment, HTC aft this connector down here, switch lock. So I could try to trick that. And that wound up on 5. There, I believe that is merged now. It's definitely frozen my game. Okay, there we go. Now I'm free. I guess I'll have to manually go back and check that lock. Life of an engineer. Obviously, this ship is meant to have a crew of some kind, and I'm hoping I can talk some of the other engineers in the server into crewing up with me once this ship is built. Oh, perfect. It merged finally. So there we go. That is the Lippstreu of this configuration. And to be honest, I would actually probably put the passenger car there, up here, and the cargo car back there. We have planned places to load and offload the cargo cars, but this is a very narrow space to be able to try and get that lined up with the port onload and the starboard offload. So I would put that further back in the train, but let's go ahead and get back over to the port side. That's where I came and went. And let's see how she handles as one unit. First and foremost, nice unit. Acceleration is still pretty steady. I can probably release that. I should lock that. And this is why I had HTC brakes on there, is so I could stop it from doing that. The length of the neck on the hydrogen thrust car is made to where it gives just enough room between whatever's in front and behind it to not burn blocks. Okay, so let's go full thrust. And I'll do a full burst, or a full boost for brakes. How quickly can this thing brake? Because that's very important in space. Well, I've definitely got to be careful with my speed. This is a lot of blocks moving with a lot of momentum. But yeah, so why is the ship named the Lippstreu? That's because early in my space engineers and YouTube career, anything I had to do with space, my friend Bob Lippstreu was watching. Robert Lippstreu. You can see him on some of the comment sections there. He was a very close friend of mine, one of my earliest viewers, very dedicated viewer in that respect. A guy that I spent a lot of time drinking a lot of whiskey and rum with and vodka, talking many, many hours. And I stopped doing space content a while back. And that would be right around the time I realized that he had passed. I stopped doing Space Engineers and Empyrean. And I decided, since I'm coming back to Space Engineers, I would like to honor him. And I feel that's a good way to do so, is to make a ship in his honor, remembering him, and make it as awesome as possible and as fun to play in as possible. This is the passenger car, mostly just set up for people to be able to sit and hang out. This is supposed to be changing. There we go. Just like in a bus or train that you're riding in real life, it's got ads that are just cycling through. I felt that was a nice touch. A couple fish tanks, a little bit of greenery over here. Not sure how often the passenger car will be used, but you know, maybe somebody wants to take a slow ride instead of flying their own ship or teleporting, because we're going to have that in the server. Thanks to Kev and I, the one who helped me build out this ship. I'm going to throw a link to his YouTube in the description down below to whatever his latest video was. He does a lot of efficient starts and covering his own mods, of course. In any case, if you liked today's video, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you want to see this thing getting built, we're launching the Content Engineers server, and there's going to be a lot of content from that on my channel, as well as other channels, and we will be doing some collabs and getting into some crazy shenanigans. So if you want to see any of that, there's also the subscribe button. I do like watching that shimmer when I'm watching these back, and I say that. In any case, until next time, have a good one.